Let me go to Jim, a first-time caller out of Nevada. Jim, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Hey, first of all, congratulations to our number 47 Trump. Happy to have him back, right?
Daddy is home.
Daddy is home.
Oh, man, amazing.
Great times. Great times.
The great white hope.
Absolutely. Hey, Jesse, I just had a question for you. I was curious your perspective. I love listening to your show. Love your outlook on so many things. And I've been someone who's been told I live a very, I guess, like a Christ-like lifestyle. I've always treated people with kindness and try to treat people how I want to be treated. My wife is very religious, but I've never been able to grasp it. Like, I've never been able to grasp that the natural God exists. What would you say to like someone like me who just I like to live a good lifestyle? I just can't actually grasp onto God.
When you say grasp on it, what do you mean?
I have a hard time acknowledging that something like that exists.
And so how are you able to live this amazing life if it's not from God?
I don't know. How is that the only way you can live that way?
Well, I don't know. When you say you try to be kind to others, you say that?
Yeah, I like to treat people how I want to be treated.
And how is that?
Be good to my fellow man. Be honest with people. If I see someone getting hurt, I stand up for them and protect them. I protect my wife and, support my family.
When did you get the idea that you're supposed to stand up for other people?
It felt natural.
Where did you get that idea that was the right thing to do, though?
I don't know.
But you can get killed. You can get hurt. You can get put in jail for standing up for other people. Where did you get the idea that it was the right thing to do?
I guess that's the question, right? It just seems to come natural.
What do you mean by natural?
Well, I think I might know where you're heading.
Where am I heading?
I think you're heading to where that comes from God.
That's not from God.
What's that from?
Hell.
Really?
Yeah.
How is that?
Because you're helping people that don't even want help. And the reason you're doing it is that you're getting a thrill from it. It feels good to you, and because it feels good, then you call it good. I'm being nice or kind or whatever. But when it feels bad, then you blame the other people and you say they didn't appreciate what I did.
I wouldn't say that I do good by people in the sense of, like, you see the crazy people out there, the crazy activists about, trans activists, things like that, and trying to just stand up for a random cause. It's just if I see I guess I'd say I'd be the type of person, rather than holding a video camera watching a fight happening, I'd be the one breaking it up kind of thing.
Why?
Well, because you don't want to see anybody get really hurt.
Why not?
I guess I don't know.
What if most people love being hurt? That's why they get in fights, and that's why they do what they do. They want to be hurt. Why would you interfere with what they want?
Would you think that automatically that both parties want to be hurt?
Otherwise, they wouldn't be fighting if they didn't want to be hurt.
I guess you got a point. Yeah, I don't know, Jesse.
And when you say, did you say the idea of how to grasp God?
Yeah, like the actual existence of Him.
And you say you're married to a woman who believes in God?
Oh, yeah.
What is that like?
It's great. She's a great woman.
Does she obey you?
Yeah.
Your wife obey you?
Oh yeah, and Hey, I tell you what, and on top of all that, she's Mexican, became a citizen, and she voted for Papa Trump for her first election this year. She was so proud.
Are you white?
I am.
And you married a Mexican?
I did.
Why?
Because I loved her.
You couldn't find a white woman to love?
I guess none of that really matters to me. I just met her, and she was great. But I think
so. You're white, and all these white women in the world, you can find one.
I wouldn't say I was looking.
Oh.
I ran into her, and she comes from a lot of those. I think what I'd say a little bit more of the old school American values, and a lot easier of a woman to deal with.
Was she illegal?
She when she was originally here, she overstayed a visa, and we had to go through the.
She was illegal.
She was for a short time.
Until you married her.
I married her, and we went through all the process of getting her legal here, and it took a few years. We took care of it the right way, and there was a real possibility we were going to maybe have to leave to Mexico, but.
And you would have done all that to be with a woman.
To be with this woman.
But why would you get a white woman? You wouldn't have to go through all that.
You go through a whole lot of other stuff with a lot of white women.
So it's easier to deal with a Mexican woman than it is to deal with a white woman?
Well, it's easier to deal with a woman with these a little bit more traditional values.
And white women don't have traditional values?
A lot of them don't, that I found growing up and in high school and my generation. It seemed like a lot of them didn't, but I think it was just by chance. I'm sure there are. I just happened to meet this gal, and she, regardless of where she come from, or Mexican, white, or whatever, and we just shared similar, values and interests.
The real reason you married her and went through all that hell to get her legalized and everything is because you couldn't handle the hell in the white woman, and you thought, maybe if I get away from a white woman and get me this Mexican woman who have a little bit more traditional values, then things would work. You couldn't handle the white woman. What the?
Jesse, I'd have been happy to have it in any woman.
But you couldn't find it in a white woman,
though? Not in the ones I had dated, no.
Right. That's why you went through hell to get this Mexican woman.
Yeah, that's true.
Amazing.
That's true.
But anyway, as far as the idea of grasping God, you can't grasp God. You can't have an idea about God and know Him. If you really want to know God, you have to let go of this idea of knowing Him or even wanting to know Him. Then you shall know Him. Because the problem with Christians is that they only have ideas about God, what they read about Him, what they heard about Him. They quote the scriptures, and they think that, and then they went down to the front of the church and accepted Jesus, confessed with their mouth, right? But they only have ideas, and ideas keep you away from knowing God. The best way to know God is to not know Him, to not have any ideas about Him at all.
And then how do you get that faith?
By not knowing God. And you know what? Faith, weak people have faith. Ideal people have faith about God, but you want to know Him. My children shall know me by my voice. You want to know Him. You don't want faith about Him. You want to know Him.
I appreciate it, Jesse. I appreciate what you talk about, and I appreciate you taking time this morning to talk to me.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Sure. I didn't know you'd bring that one on me today.
Have you forgiven your mother?
No, I guess I would say what you hear a lot. I didn't know I had to.
Have you forgiven your mother?
No.
So you lie. You said, yeah. And then you said, I didn't know it. And now you're saying no. Why did you say yes and all that? Why didn't you just say, no, I have not forgiven her?
I've heard you ask that question a lot, and I'm not sure really what I have to forgive of my mother.
The way she treated you and turning you away from your father, being too mothery or too dominating in your life, too controlling. That's why you married a Mexican woman, because you hate your mother and you wanted to get away from the white woman. Because you're trying to get away from the spirit of your mother, not realizing you still married your mother when you married that Mexican woman from Mexico. It's still mama.
I guess that's something I got to work on.
Why don't you forgive her? What would happen if you forgave your mother?
Oh, she'd be great. She'd be cool with it.
But why don't you go and forgive her for what she's done to you?
I think it's hard for me to see that she's done anything wrong.
Was she perfect?
I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
Was she perfect?
No, I don't think so.
Did she make any mistakes?
Sure.
Like what, for an example? Things that were irritating you about her, things that you wish you didn't do or say, whatever. Give me one small example.
I think we all make mistakes. I can't think back.
How about your mama? Give me one small example of your mama.
That's hard. Mom was a good mom. It's hard for me to think of.
So you can't think of one thing she did wrong.
I'd have to think about it, Jesse.
So you got to think about one thing Mama did wrong.
Yeah.
And how about father? Did you forgive your father?
Yeah, I think I forgave my dad.
You told him?
I never had a chance to tell him.
Why?
But I think I felt like it was implied.
Why you never had a chance to tell him?
He's not here anymore.
Where is he?
He's dead.
He did.
He did. Yeah, he's gone.
What one thing your father did wrong?
It would have been nice to have more time with him when I was a young kid and they were divorced.
That's the only thing he did wrong?
Oh, God, I'm sure he does other things wrong, but
so why are you so
sure
that your father did wrong, but not your mother?
I wouldn't say I'm sure about that. Mom could have been involved in that too.
She was.
Yeah.
I guarantee she was.
Yeah, I hear you.
And you need to forgive her for running your dad off and keeping him away from you.
I got you. I think I can do that.
But you need to see it for yourself, not just because I said it, all right?
No, I got you. I appreciate it.
But in closing, if you want to know God, don't think about him.
Okay. I appreciate it, Jesse. All and right. We can say this again. Have a Merry Christmas. Thanks,
absolutely.
Jesse.
Merry Christmas and congratulations on the Great White Hope.
Likewise. Thanks, Jesse. Bye-bye.
Bye now.